The AutoZone Liberty Bowl in the Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. Saturday, December 30th at 12:30 p.m. Iowa State Cyclones and number 20 Memphis Tigers. It was a hot day in October.
Well, this is a good story already.
Back when Iowa State burst into the national spotlight.
Pow!
They had come from behind and held on to hand number 3 Oklahoma their first loss.
Enjoy this loss.
They would go on to hand TCU its first loss of the season just a couple of weeks later.
Enjoy this loss.
Since that win, they have lost 3 of their last 4 games by a combined 12 points. Cyclones quarterback is Kyle Kempt. He has been the catalyst for this turnaround in Ames. He hadn't thrown a pass before that Oklahoma game. So they started the season a little rough.
In his life or in the season?
Hadn't thrown a pass this season before that Oklahoma game. He turned this team into a contender during that Oklahoma game. He randomly got the start. They didn't do well. Coach said, hey, you're going to start. And he said, okay, coach. And then he goes and beats the number 3 team in the country. That's pretty cool, I guess.
That's a good player to have right there.
If it weren't for his injury in the Oklahoma State game, the Cyclones' record might be even better than what it is now. The Massillon, Washington quarterback. So he's from Ohio. He's an Ohio guy.
The Massillon, Washington makes him sound like he's not from Ohio.
But he is from Ohio. Massillon, Washington is a high school in Ohio. Northwest Ohio. It's near where you were in Mogador.
Massillon, yeah.
Massillon.
Oh.
He's got to have a good game. This is Iowa State's first bowl game since 2012, so not quite as crazy as New Mexico State's 57-year drought, but 5-year drought for Iowa State. Pretty big for a Power 5 conference team. Flip it over to Memphis. They get the benefit of playing in their home field, on their home field in their home stadium. So that's kind of cool. Home field advantage is going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be just like a regular bowl game, a regular home field game, regular home game during the regular season, because this isn't like the Cotton Bowl or the Peach Bowl or anything like that, where there's tons and thousands of fans that come to this game and thousands of tickets are sold to random people across the country. This is a crappy little bowl game. So usually there's going to be like 3,000 people in the stands. If it's somewhere else, going to be a lot of blue in the field and in the stadium for this one for Memphis.
And let's clarify that. You said crappy little bowl game, but it's not the crappiest.
There are worse.
We've had some really bad bowl games.
There are worse than the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. The Tigers have 2 losses on the season, 10-2, so very good. Number 20 in the country, pretty darn good for a non-Power 5 team. They have 2 losses, both of them to one team, and it was to UCF, who had not lost a game the entire season. The only team in the FBS to not do that. So both of those games were also played at UCF. So this is great because it's going to be a home game. So this really is all trending in Memphis' direction. Very good offense. Almost 4,000 yards passing from Riley Ferguson. He had 36 touchdown passes. Darrell Henderson had 1,100 yards on the ground and 9 touchdowns. And Patrick Taylor had 800 yards and 13 touchdowns running as well. That was 2 rushers that had that many yards. Pass catchers, how about Anthony Miller? He had 92 receptions for 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. So the Memphis offense is really good. If their defense can get a couple stops, I think they're going to come away with this one. That's why I picked Memphis to win 44-34.
I got Iowa State playing spoiler one more time and beating another ranked team.
That is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.